Control is an illusion. It's a deceiving trick played on us by our reality, forcing us to engage in the misuse of our precious time. This spinning mindset, unaware of a peaceful approach, will keep us rushing from one place to the next, hoping that the harder we force an outcome, the closer we'll get to achieving it. The truth is, we'll always sit in the middle of these moments, wondering where now starts and forever ends. Wondering if our forceful acts are the only approach to a favorable outcome. When does letting go take part in this untold story? Will it expose a more realistic advancement of our invaluable time, moving us beyond the anxious thoughts that slow us down, restoring trust back in the process placed in front of us? There's a quote from Shakespeare that says, "It's not the stars that hold our destiny, but in ourselves." See, the rise to the summit lies in the valley of the journey. That truth is never changed. But our focus on the end result will continue to leave us without a feeling of ownership over our actions. There's a story where one individual asked another, "Am I going to die?" And the other said, "Yes, we're all going to die. It's just a matter of time." But that's not the question. The question is, are they going to have a good story to tell when you're gone? There's so much time lost when we spend it fighting for control. The only way to get it back is by loosening our grip on these forceful outcomes, letting momentum reveal the obvious experiences that help develop a playful mindset and build an unforgettable legacy. Leave control to the simple-minded and let intelligence find you. Have you ever had a dream that felt so real that you became trapped in the desire for its outcome? A dream that held you in the presence of your own curious embrace. In its gentle persistence, created the only purpose for your existence. We are held in this united force of desire, pretending that it's just a drifting illusion, when the reality is that it's the only illusion that can fill this empty void. We somehow find ourselves standing alone, far from its powerful influence, trying to figure out when our focus got so lost along the way. The partnership of this journey is similar to a plant stretching its roots beneath the earth's soil. Its trusting belief in the unity of their collaboration strengthens growth. And the understanding between the two is that the earth will create support for this needed journey, leading their alliance to a magnificent conclusion to life. A dream is not only a dream, but a focused desire, an inevitable response to a reachable purpose. It is not just a what-if choice. It is our endless pursuit towards fulfillment. We will never be alone or discarded when our connection is met with determination, when we are held beyond the limitations that we find ourselves so attached to. The reality of our thoughts is where the manifestation of our dreams are resting. The true motion released by our momentum will capture our dreams' attention once more. This will set us back on the path we know we should have never veered from. What dreams may come when passion exceeds time, when desire steers our ready course, and when purpose becomes the only conclusion to our actions. We begin this life filled with hope. We trust in the teachings of our misled circumstances and remain open to where our innocence is willing to take us next. This innocence that we've adopted at birth, it remains with us, trusting that one day we'll return to its playful ways. We can't continue to let this needed innocence fade and become lost in the outer world filled with unwanted demands. If we do, its forceful ways will hold us from the curious encounters that educate an open mind. They say that ignorance is bliss. Now, this may be true, but intelligence draws us back to the mindful thoughts that redirect future decisions, back to a pure curiosity of self, where intuition directs our innocence beyond the constant burden of pressing concerns. My innocence is the reason I still dream, the reason I carry on in a way that shows life I have a desired purpose. When I start to think I can't go on, I remind myself that life is a gift, one that should be embraced with an open heart and held close to a willing soul. Why is it at a young age we never question that fact? But as we get older, we try to find ways to justify the reason we can't go on, when believing in the reason we can is that much more rewarding. We become caught in this trap of waiting for the world to serve us, when waiting is the action that has this world passing us by. A trusting belief in oneself is the way out from behind these blinding traps of complacency. And as long as we still encounter a tomorrow, we'll always get a chance to embrace our childlike innocence. There will come a time in life when a principle is adopted, and that principle will become the fundamental truth that serves as the foundation for our beliefs. It will align with a chain of reasoning that sets us on a path of humility. The daffodil principle is one of these. This is how the story goes. On a crisp spring day, a woman was driving her children home from school when one of her daughters asked, "Can we stop at the daffodil farm up the road?" They had never been to this farm before, so the mother looked over and agreed. She pulled up a long gravel driveway, and at the end stood an old red and white barn that she pulled past to park. When they got out, they saw a sign pointing to the top of the hillside that read, "Daffodil Farm, this way." As they made their way closer to the top, they began to see thousands of flowers, planted in majestic shapes, swirling patterns, each different in variety, and resting in large groups. It was truly an amazing sight to see. And just then, they passed another sign that read, "The answer to the questions I know you're asking." 50,000 bulbs planted over 40 years, one at a time, by one woman, 2 hands and 2 feet. When we stop to contemplate the idea behind this principle, we come to realize that the conclusion we continue to race towards is not where we'll find life's reasoning. We'll only find it hidden in the timely placement of each experience, in small actions that create simple achievements and later become extraordinary outcomes. Beautiful creations take time to grow. They need nourishment along the way that only humble acts can provide. One step after another, over time, will lead us to exactly where we know we need to be. When a playful mind meets the freedom of endless creativity, we'll transform our thoughts to match that energy. This peaceful flow in an unpredictable world can hold us emotionally free in the moment, understanding that we are the controllable force, participating in uncontrollable circumstances. Owning this responsibility of the moment gives us all the needed intelligence to connect with a captivating experience, one that moves us closer to the understanding of its shared embrace. This could be the reason why we keep coming back in unpredictable ways, being led by unmanageable forces, showing us the hidden talents waiting to be freed. The more we return, the more time loses ownership over this space, and we become lost in the ageless encounter of our own imagination. And uniting ourselves with the force that can't help but to see a story be told. A guided way shows compassion towards the intelligence we hold so close. It lifts a playful heart to its motivational means. We hold the keys to the door of creativity. The only action left is for us to find a way through.